fragile heart, it's deep inside. It has a sound that you can follow. You feel like you hit a wall, but you...
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So Duke finishes their little 3-game run up in Canada. They did get a win against Toronto and McGill. I believe that's the name of the last college team they played up there. It's pretty good to see that they're winning by 30+ points, and good to see that both the duos, at least of the 2 of the 4 that we're seeing right now, the freshman phenoms, RJ Barrett and Zion Williamson, they both average about 30 points while up there in 3 games. So it's pretty crazy. I can't imagine how much Duke would have won by if both the other 2 guys, the other 2 top guys, were playing as well. Would have been pretty crazy scores, but they looked pretty great together, and hopefully the same thing goes when we add both Cam Reddish and Trey Jones to the lineup.
And it was hard for you to swallow. I've been to that place before. In spite of luck, when you await a new tomorrow.
So USC gets a commitment the other day from Jordan Wilmore. He's in the 2019 class, so that's coming in next year. And he's an all-purpose back. I'm not really 100% sure what that is, other than a running back as well. I don't know what else he's going to do, but good to see they're adding some more guys there, more depth, because a lot of these guys could probably leave early that are in the running back position, and we did lose out on some other guys, but at least got another dude to commit. And then today the AP poll came out saying that USC is number 15. It's kind of okay because they did have a more successful year 2 years ago at that same range at number 15, and they went to the Rose Bowl and had a great game against Penn State. But, you know, you kind of wish it was a little bit higher, especially those teams that are ahead of them. You kind of know that they're going to end up beating them or be a lot better than them at the end of the season. We just have to wait and see. And I think this is really going to be a tough game, the very first game against UNLV, especially if Jordan Rogers or Armani Rogers, I believe his name is, the quarterback for UNLV, plays, because he did, you know, show some special things last year that USC usually doesn't play well against, especially after seeing Vince Young. And then ever since a team that has a good running quarterback, USC has always seemed to struggle against them, and that's the only reason why I'm kind of worried about their first game coming up September 1st.
I will not surrender.
And yes, on Saturday, the Chargers did get a nice victory against the Seahawks. Pete Carroll, ex-USC coach, so we got that from you, but good to also see Rasheem Green, who was a rookie for the Seattle Seahawks, went to USC, did really good for them as well against the Chargers. But a lot of our guys did pretty well. Phillip Rivers, he led the first 2 drives and did pretty well, scoring both times, so it looked pretty good, especially for that Melvin Ingram run that was like about 30 yards, and then, you know, Rivers nickel and diamond down the field. It's kind of surprising, but just making the correct plays as of right now. But Seattle isn't the same defense as it was. I know that, but it still looked pretty impressive. And then also Mike Williams, the guy I've been wanting to show up since he had a very subpar freshman year or rookie year. And he had made a nice catch in the end zone for a touchdown where he went up and elevated really well and went over the dude. And it was a pretty awesome play. And then a guy, J.J. Jones, that I never really heard about, who is kind of like a wide receiver, who was their return guy, and he scored a touchdown as well, a 72-yarder. I never knew about him, but I'm definitely a fan of him, and hopefully that solves our problems at the return position, and he can stay on as well.
I will not surrender. When God falls fast asleep, the kids still dance in city streets from the White House.
But of course, it's not the Chargers unless the injury bug gets them, and of course it happened during that game on Saturday. He was like a second or third string guy, but they recently signed him from Philadelphia, Jalen Watkins. He was a defensive back, but they had him playing safety, so it was his first time to start in the preseason, see what he could show. And then a few plays into it, I think it was Melvin Ingram who kind of, when they were both going after the quarterback, they kind of made like a weird move, and he kind of went into his knee and turned out it's a torn ACL, which sucks for him. He did sign a 1-year deal, so he is on injured reserve. And then the Chargers did pick up Micah Hinneman, who was from, I believe it was Cleveland Browns most recently. He's the same thing, a defensive back, but I kind of don't think that's the answer. They need a lot better player, and for some reason the Cincinnati Bengals let go of George Iloka. I believe it's for just to save money, but he is a good enough player, I think, to add to your team, and he is a safety as well. So you might as well just take a chance on that guy, or there's still like an Eric Reed out there as well. Hopefully you get another bigger name instead of trying to trust a lot of these younger players who haven't really played as much.
On to the Middle East and all around. I'm just saying that this time I feel it now. When God falls fast asleep, the kids still move to.
And I believe it was on Thursday the Jets played, and Darnold actually got the start. It's pretty awesome for him, but he did not have as productive a day as he did last week or the week before. So they're still wondering if he still can be the starter as a rookie out there, but I still think he can, just because still, again, a lot of drop balls, and they weren't really protecting him all that great. But if that's just the way the season's going to go, then I'm sure he's going to leave within 3 or 4 years unless they just trade him. But then also USC's quarterback carousel that they still have. I mean, this Saturday we were all kind of anticipating a good practice and a good scrimmage to finally see who was like more in the running for the head quarterback job, but they really didn't have that big of a practice, they said, and really none of the guys everyone thought was going to separate themselves did anything. Both, I believe, Matt Fink and JT Daniels hardly had any pass attempts, and it was Jack Sears, who was the second quarterback, who had the only touchdown from quarterbacks. Kind of interesting, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we get it within the next week or so that we'll find out who the #1 quarterback is for USC.
Move to a steady beat, even if it's bombs landing at their feet or all around. I'm just saying that this time I feel it.
I believe I mentioned on the last video that I believe the Lakers will make a trade for a superstar at some point this season, and of course they're running with that headline again. Then the last few days after I said it, not a Nostradamus here, but it is kind of obvious why they would write about that, because it is a big topic. Same thing with that George Iloka. I mean, after the game, I saw that they let him go, and I wanted him to be on the team. And then just today, someone from the Chargers wrote up on Bleacher Report that should they look at George Iloka. And of course, you know, I'm not Nostradamus, but let's just keep going. So yeah, of course you want a star. Kawhi Leonard would be the obvious choice here, but we'll just see who they want to keep and who they want to get rid of as far as the Lakers roster. And then they're asking also, is this Chargers team going to be able to win a Super Bowl with the amount of Super Bowl talent, quote, that they have on their team? I don't know. They're already getting bit by the injury bug constantly. It seems like every week. Even Joey Bosa didn't play Saturday because he had something wrong with his foot. It seems like pretty obvious what's going to happen. A lot more injuries, especially to better players, and who knows if this is going to be an actual good year for Phillip Rivers. Sometimes he's off and on. Last year he was on. He had all the numbers, but they still didn't do anything, so you never know if he's going to go back down again, and hopefully it doesn't happen, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think, and have a great rest of your day.